to another video where I'm gonna be reviewing sketchbooks in my archive, some art shit. I think I'm gonna start with this sketchbook and then maybe a few of these DIY ones and then a few of these small sketchbooks. But let's get into it. This is from 2022 at the earliest, I believe. This is when I first started making random art. I don't know, it's just, if you saw my previous video about reviewing the art archives, I'm into this sketching and abstract bullshit. This is just me getting into art, at first. It's real rough. It's just shit. Painting, abstract lines, using some watercolor, doing some ink washes. I don't know. This shit sucks ass, but I was just experimenting with paint and different mediums. This is paint over different types of pens. So, some landscape, watercolor, line art type of deals. A lot of abstract, mountains, abstract bullshit. A lot of it's unfinished because, I don't know, I was just messing around basically. This sketchbook took many years to complete actually. I just occasionally came in here and painted something or drew some stuff. So here's Sharpie over some acrylic mountains or something. Yeah, a lot of it's unfinished basically. A lot of just shit. Splattering paint around and going over it with lines. This isn't a very artistic sketchbook, but it was experimental so that I learned how the mediums worked. Making thumbnails here. Like, what the heck? I could go over this sketchbook, but it's kind of like a piece of history, This is where I started drawing trees, painting landscapes and shit. This is when I started to actually paint from a reference. I think I was just copying some shit online. Here's some more landscapes, values. No idea what I was making really. But I was experimenting, so. This is an oil paint test here. This took a while to dry, 2 weeks it says. This is some acrylic swatches. Yeah, acrylic painting, line art, trees, landscapes, the usual. So, yeah. That's about it, I think. At the end, I was really, trying painting and shit. I think this is oil pastel or wax pastels. I'm not sure. Here's alcohol markers, swatching them a bit. Had some really rough acrylic painting. Water-soluble colored pencils. It says wine painting. Maybe I was intoxicated. But that's about it for this. This one was real rough. But here are these DIY sketchbooks. These things, basically you take 20 pieces of paper, you fold them in half, and then you either staple them together or glue them together. I have a few that I glued together. These were stapled, and then you put a cover on it. So this is a sketchbook too. These are exercises, I guess, that I was doing. Yeah, so let's get into it. I may as well use this DIY notebook to scribble on and practice ink lines. Yeah, that's what I did. Instead of treating a sketchbook to be all pristine and perfect. I just doodled, yeah. So these are really rough lines, circles, lines, ellipses, spirals. These are basic forms and shapes. This is my desk. You can see my monitor, laptop, game controller, more ellipses and planes, trying the fountain pen, some thumbnails, some notes I took. The shape of creativity. This is basically the Dunning-Kruger effect, I think. Curiosity peaked, honeymoon phase, the dip, workshopping. So you go and like you try and try, and then you grow finally. Basically, I think this is called the Dunning-Kruger effect in other fields. More notes, more lines, some thumbnails. I was really like, I think I did this in like 2 weeks, this sketchbook, so I was really into it. More taking notes from YouTube. This is taking values and such. Yeah, values. These are different colors and values. I think that I was making lines to divide up the page. Like for 1/3, you can make, that's for like composition, I guess. For lining up stuff, some forms here. Tree bark. Yeah, I was experimenting quite a bit with pen and ink. Mostly a fountain pen, I believe. But also some microns. So I'm taking notes quite a bit. This is pen over graphite. I think this was from Control Paint Delete or something. It's some like digital painting course. And they said to make circles in graphite. But I thought I'll go over it with some pen and ink. I'm basically getting my mileage in, you know, just trying to put marks on the page. Draw 20 phones, basically some rectangles and cubes, phones. So here's some interesting thumbnails. Maybe I was improving quite a bit. Draw 30 spoons. I really don't do much of this type of practice. I probably should. But that's what a sketchbook is for. There's contour drawings of like a bottle of hand sanitizer. And these pens, contour drawings. They're a bit difficult. These are like pliers, headphones. So that's it for this sketchbook. The next one is quite similar. More contour drawings, or this was blocking in. Control plus paint. That's the website I was referring to. So blocking in shapes. I was using more pens. Still doing this. Thumbnails, of course. This looks like it's made with a brush pen. Audit your productivity. Open up your notes app and say, what did I get done today? I was into productivity at this time. These are some interesting lines. A mixture of micron, fountain pen, and brush pens, I think. Macro interests, technology, art, the mind. It's a bit of a mind map, it seems. Sometimes I go through my sketchbooks and see what I made. These ones are not so interesting because, well, this is kind of interesting. This is like, I think this was supposed to be a computer science notebook. I was taking notes on productivity and internet and technology. But then I was like, I'll just draw on this notebook. I might as well make some use of it. What the heck is this? Like hairy, like lines here. Interesting. More ellipses and lines and notes. Knowing yourself is a long process and it requires getting some life experience. Ain't that the truth? Similarly, knowing how to make art is a long process. And it takes a lot of sketching, and here's notes about something. Productivity bullshit, basically. So, yeah. It's a real rough sketchbook, mostly pen and ink, line drawing, some markers in gray here, a lot of notes about stuff. What the heck is this? The learning pyramid, more productivity stuff. But yeah, this notebook has a lot of notes, it seems. Drawing in blue, different types of pens. I think Micron PN. Here's some graphite and ink over it. Ellipses in planes. Yeah, so trees. More trees in pen and ink. These are some rough sketchbooks here. These kind of look like faces. Maybe I'm getting into that again. Some thumbnails, some real rough stuff. Trees, lines, landscapes, lines. Yep, that's interesting. Now, there's another sketchbook here. This is for, yeah, I think this is the next one. I think I took a break and I was beginning again with some circular forms, spheres, and then I just get back into drawing lines, drawing cylinders, pyramids, cubes, rectangles, back into this is kind of my grind. I just like to draw forms very roughly and some abstract lines. Trees, of course, forms, yes, more spheres, lines, cross-hatching, thumbnails, mountains, landscapes, forms in pen and ink, more lines and patterns, abstract, tree silhouettes, different textures of lines here, squiggles, some spheres, some lines, in perspective, some spheres and forms and cylinders, lines, hatching, trees. This is some shadow practice, it seems. Highlights, light, mid-tone. Yes, I'm really experimenting. Drawing some abstract shit. Drawing some characters here. What the heck is this? A dino? It's a new character, it seems. Thumbnails. Trees. Thumbnails. Landscapes. Trees, of course, with shadows. Am I improving? I mean, not really, but I feel like if I do this enough, I might improve. So thumbnails, lines, shapes, that's what I do in these sketchbooks. I kind of like some of my hatching and cross-hatching work on these landscapes. These are in blue. Sometimes they say blue is good for writing. It makes the words pop out. Usually for drawing, I stick to black. But blue is interesting too. It might be cool to do a whole sketchbook in blue. It definitely has its own type of effect. So yeah, these past few sketchbooks have all just been lines and shapes and some forms and thumbnails of landscapes. They're really rough landscapes, but you can get what it's going for. Here it's in color, it seems. I think I used some markers and some pens here. These are from reference for sure. So I think this was a daily prompt about drinking. So from reference, I can draw some representational stuff. This woman's drinking some wine. This person's drinking. Here's some mountains. And that's about it. Another person drinking. That's it for this sketchbook. I think there's one more. This one. I think this was, it used to be a computer science notebook. Algorithms, graph theory. Yeah. I'm not studying that anymore. What a computer can't do. These are some thumbnails here, and this gets into the art of it. Some scribbles, a stick figure on a landscape, some abstract shapes, thumbnails. This is a marker drawing of sorrow heads. Yes. Oh, here we go into the eyes and the faces. I think these were hairstyle studies. Maybe for some type of anime characters or something. I can see I'm drawing their faces and heads and loose gesture drawings. Yeah, this is definitely some type of gesture drawing. Anime characters here. Eyes. Gestures, anatomy. Interesting. Anime characters. Landscapes. I'm definitely more into drawing landscapes. Oh, hand studies. Damn, that's bad. But I should get more into anatomy and gesture. They say drawing the body helps you draw everything else. Like, to draw a body, you learn how to draw a landscape, basically. Heads, different colors. Some thumbnails in perspective. Heads, landscape. I think these are gesture drawings from reference. What the heck? Some thumbnails for landscapes. These are from these are urban sketching basically, or from a photo I took of some buildings. I should really draw more buildings, especially in perspective. That would be interesting. Gesture drawing, anatomy, the male figure, different muscles, deltoid, bicep, tricep. I don't know anything about anatomy really. So here I was drawing the female body. This is more gesture or anatomy. I think trying to do in perspective. 7 heads tall, or 8 heads tall, the human body usually is. People for beginners, fundamentals, sketching. So these are people, like simplified figures here for a background. This is the character from this beer, Brugezat. These are some background characters. Some more anatomy. This is a bird. I think from the famous grouse. It's the bird from that drink. Yes, here's the bottle. And here's the famous grouse. Some anatomy. All right. That's it for these DIY sketchbooks. let's look at these sketch pads. So these sketch pads, they have a variety of different things in them. So it's mostly thumbnails, forms, landscapes, of course. I mean, what else would it be? Here's a landscape, there's a landscape. Here's some forms and lines, some cross-hatching. Here's some simple characters, simple line drawings, some painting in a landscape, some loomis heads, lines. This is line art of a landscape painting, line art of a landscape, some people, anatomy, pen drawing, abstract, landscapes, yeah. It's all the same, basically, just practice of pen and landscapes. These were trying to go in perspective more. What is this? Some figures in the landscape. That's a bit different. Thumbnails. Landscape. Thumbnails. Painting. These are some more. I mean, I seem to be drawing the same shit over and over again. Pen and ink landscapes and line practice, basically. On one side, I've got a landscape. On the other side, I've got some pen and ink line and ellipse and plane practice. Here's some marker drawing, some marker palettes. So I think I was trying to frame this somehow. Some marker, this is paint, watercolor. Oh, some faces and flowers, interesting. Abstract and thumbnails and scribbles. This is when I was doing some urban sketching. Here's a tree. Here's abstract faces, urban sketching, outside. Literally taking the sketchbook outside and drawing in it. Not very well, but I mean, it's fun to go outside and draw. These are alcohol marker urban sketches. They bleed through quite a bit, so I gotta go on one side and skip a few pages. All right, that's pretty much it for this sketchbook. Yeah, urban sketching. The next one is, yeah, it continues with more urban sketching in alcohol markers. Some places around where I lived. This is my bike, I guess. Some faces, urban sketching, abstract, more abstract. This is, I bought some colored pencils and it came with an ink pen, brush pen. Shit. Yeah, this whole fucking sketchbook is shit, of course. But that's how you learn, yeah. And it's good to express yourself. This is graphite, some landscapes. I should paint more in pencil. Here's colored pencil. Here's some forms in pencil. Abstract in pencil, colored pencil. And some more abstract faces and lines. Something from reference, a lighthouse, some sorrow heads. Yes, so I'm branching out a bit. beyond landscapes, although of course landscapes are my bread and butter. This was like ink wash and pencil. That was a good combination. The gray of the pencil mixed with the ink wash of the ink. So maybe I should do that. Oh, this is a building in perspective. It takes a lot of concentration to draw in perspective. Loomis heads. Maybe from imagination. Perspective. Thumbnails, Loomis heads, Loomis heads. I like this one. I got the shadows in there. Noses, mouths, thumbnails, abstract, over watercolor, some shitty abstract, line over watercolor, line over ink wash, abstract landscapes, making some forms on a plane, forms in a landscape. Yes, trees. Oh yes, I love trees. Whenever I don't know what to draw, I try and draw trees, you know. They're just relaxing, you know. Some background figures in the abstract ink wash drawing, figures practice, abstract figures and thumbnails, more very abstract, like these rectangular forms from below, it seems, kind of in perspective. It's like pseudo perspective. This is supposed to be a statue, okay? So, thumbnails, a city scene, ear studies. I think this is my camera I drew. These are daily prompts: a mushroom man, a dress, a river, some boxing, the world, some window that's open. I kind of like this. I even got the reflection kind of down. A kaiju, Godzilla looking thing. A city, basically. Arms. Oh, some demons. Scary. A match. Some anatomy study. Very rough, it seems. Lines, faces, cheese, and sad people. Interesting. More sadness. Sad faces. Thumbnails. More expressive faces. Landscapes. Yeah, interesting. Some faces. Yo, maybe I should really try portraits and shit. The human face is very expressive. It's a bit more interesting than landscapes, but I just like landscapes. Gargoyles. Yeah, I like this colorful city stuff. Peppers on fire. This is a mountain scene. Some mountain. This is like a horse driving a car. Some robots in space. These are some like daily prompts for sure. A face, a castle. I kind of like this one. This was in watercolor, I guess. Pizza, faces, a burger, pyramids. Let's get abstract. A rabbit on this girl, a frog, some abstract lines, more abstraction, more daily prompts. The prompts are always random. So an angry cat, I believe, was this one. And this one was a jellyfish fishing. So that's a simple prompt to do. And some fruit or something. Very rough, but yeah, I finished this recently. I think that's all my sketchbooks. This DIY is work in progress one. I mean, it's quite, I think this one was mostly pen and ink drawings. Some abstract, but a lot of color. Switch to Linux, you won't regret it. Some more abstract. A pizza, I should draw something here. It's a bit empty. Thumbnails. This is kind of creepy, abstract eyes. A landscape in ballpoint, I believe. Ballpoint pen. So, this is from quite a few years ago. But I was drawing in ballpoint pen. Abstract. A house. Interesting. Some abstract. A penguin. A car. Abstract. Abstract. Kind of abstract fountain pen stuff. Some thumbnails and blue sketches and landscapes. Hand sanitizer. This is a landscape from a game, I think. This is also from a game, from reference. What is this? Monkeys playing chess. Yes, I still have to finish this sketchbook. This one I don't think this one's really worth showing too much. This was like just to get back into art. So, scribbles mostly. This one is also some shitty urban sketching basically. Yeah, not very good. But I think I turned it over and I started again. So here's some trees. Here's some thumbnails. So maybe I'll try. This is from a show. It's a library. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying. I flipped this one over. So that's pretty much that. I think I do still have a few more things that I forgot to show in my archive video. What is this? I really have no clue. Oh, this is some bullshit. This is also terrible art. This is terrible art, I tell you. This is just me messing around with watercolor and very abstract, experimental. Or maybe I can paint on the back of this one. You gotta use all the paper you can get, yeah? I could also paint on the back of these. What is this? Tentacle monsters. I mean, this is from a while ago. So, I'm not really sure why I'm showing this, but yeah. I think I still have a few more. This Archive 5, these are smaller doodles basically. You see on small cards. So this is more of my bread and butter, abstract. Some notes about time management. These ones are very abstract, it seems. Oh, this is from almost 3 years ago. I was watching videos at 4 in the morning doodling. I'd like to think I've made some progress in that time. Certainly. And certainly in terms of painting. But, oh, I like these mountains. Hatching in 3 directions. This is from a video, Alfonso Dunn. So you can make some great texture for the mountain. These are using brush pens, I believe. Some abstract shit, it says. Ain't that the truth? A lot of forms, ellipses, spheres. These are just abstract. I think this was the beginning of my, I like this, when it has 8, I don't know, I just draw this pattern a lot. This pattern, a circle in a square and like 4 lines through it and then hatching. It's interesting. I was using a Lamy fountain pen for quite a bit of these small, these are like postcard drawings. Some abstract line drawings of mountains. Practice in it, yes. Some lines, some abstraction. Koi brush pen. Abstract lines. This is very abstract. I think I colored this digitally on my phone, actually. Not in Krita on the computer, but these are with brush pen, yeah. A lot of these were with brush pen. I was really experimenting using brush pens and microns. Some of my microns were running out of ink. I think this is some brush, like with a paintbrush, ink brush, basically. Thumbnails, mountains, line practice, practicing different mediums, thumbnails, pointless, enjoyable with a brush, I can tell. Ooh, these are some programming languages, what the heck? Here's lines, plastic nib, micron, trying that pen out. Here's a mountain and some abstract shapes. These are on some watercolor, no, not watercolor, Bristol board, I think. Abstracts, mountains. Oh, snap. Yo, this is, holy shit. This is the first sketchbook I think I ever made. It says DIY Sketchbook 00. So let's check it out. It's on the back of a Night at the Museum poster board, basically. So this was actually some of the first art I made, like sketchbook, I don't know. I was using I think a micron, a fine liner, and I was using ballpoint. So I was doing landscapes. Oh, I like the texture work. Trying perspective, some abstract testing pens. Oh, I had many pens. I had brush pens. What in the world? This is the beginning of my art journey, basically. Oh, it's very, yeah, trees, of course. I knew how to draw trees. Kind of abstract or avant-garde. I think I found different pens and I was testing them out, basically. Thumbnails. What is this? Lines, ballpoint. Yeah, I was watching Peter Draws and he emphasized the use of lines. He's writing some bullshit. Doing some abstract lines. Making some landscapes, brush pen, sign pen. What in the world? Alien landscapes, it seems. Very cool. This is interesting. Yes. Trees. I mean, it was confident lines. I think my confidence for lines has improved since this point, surely. Lines and abstract. I've just been repeating the same shit. Random, abstract, thumbnails, landscapes. I mean, that's what I do, it seems. And it seems I've been doing that since the beginning. Okay, I think this is the actual last piece, last archive. These are more small form factor types of art. Mountains and planets. Oh, this is interesting. This is pink pen clogs. I think this is my original watercolor set from when I was a kid. I still used it when I started doing art when I was an adult. So these are from daily prompts on some drawing app. I think this one was like Explosion or something. These are, damn, I've made so much fucking shit. Shit's crazy. Okay, here's some more. What is this? A house over watercolor. Ooh, interesting. I could paint on the back of these too, these poster boards, these postcards. A very small little piece of watercolor paper. These were ink drawings and marker drawings of landscapes. I think I remember these. Yeah, this was a while ago. Some green line landscape drawings. A quick shitty doodle. Ain't that the truth? That's what all these are. That's what all my art is. Quick shitty doodles, but I enjoy it, and perhaps I improve very slowly. This is kind of interesting. A concept I must explore sometime. Left the pen uncapped, but it works. Stabilo Pen 68. Yeah, those, they don't dry out very well. I mean, you can use them after you kept them uncapped. Scribble on the page, yes. Abstract. What does this say? Just make lines and shapes. The abstract. When I don't know what the point is, when I don't know what to draw. A relaxing activity. No expectations. Create. I think that's still my philosophy. Abstract. 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 I mean, I made a lot of abstract shit. Abstract. Yeah, these were really mostly abstract. Often I forget the wonders of self-expression, even just scribbling lines. Yes, words to live by. Just scribble some lines, make some abstract bullshit, and you'll have a good time. Okay, let's see. These are never ending. Green test, abstract. 27 ways art can change your life. It's okay to waste time. Think less, let go, be kind to you. Rediscover analog. Don't wait to be ready. Vulnerability makes you tough. Sketchbook School. It's a good YouTube channel. And this is good advice. Oh, what is this? A bit of a swatch. Some landscape, some lines, some abstract lines, some abstract shapes, some abstract shapes and lines, some abstract values and shapes and lines, abstract watercolor and shapes, a landscape. Another landscape, thumbnails, a pen and ink colored drawing, abstract forms, abstract lines, abstract shapes. It really never ends. How the hell did I do all this over so much time? Over the course of these videos, it's like hundreds of drawings, each one taking at least 10, 20 minutes, probably more. I guess if you do anything for a while, it'll build up. This makes me really want to improve. Like, this is mostly for my own self-expression and just to kill time. Abstract is kind of interesting here. Kind of an alien landscape. Spheres. Doodling. Okay. I really love to put lines on the paper. I put so much down. And I think we're almost at the end. Interesting. A landscape in blue. Abstract landscape. Lines, values, shapes, and abstraction. Amazing. So, I've learned quite a lot. I haven't been through all these doodles in a long time, but I see that I've been on quite a journey, and I see that I have a lot to learn still. But this video will just be a reminder to myself and an archive of my journey, basically. All right. Thanks for watching.